Hey, I have your wife here. It's either you pay $50,000 in the next 48 hours to the wallet address I am going to send to you, or it will be the last time you see her alive. The world shrinks to the phone pressed against my ear. My name is James, and I'm a criminal psychologist with the state police. In my early 30s, stout and 5 feet tall, I've just begun the greatest chapter of my life. A marriage barely 2 weeks old to a woman named Clara. This call slices through our newlywed bliss like a shard of ice. My training screams one thing: do not show fear. Gather data. But my heart, my new, fiercely devoted heart, is a frantic drum against my ribs. I need proof of life. I manage, my voice miraculously steady. Let me speak to her. There is a rustle, then a choked sob. James? I'm so sorry. I was just getting groceries. It's okay, Clara. I'm here. I'll fix this. My professional facade cracks on those last 3 words. The line returns to the kidnapper. The clock starts now. For the next day, I became a man split in 2. The investigator in me works with my team, tracing the untraceable crypto wallet. The husband in me is disintegrating, staring at our wedding photo, her smile now an artifact from another lifetime. With 12 hours left, the kidnapper calls again. His tone is different, agitated. Have you sent the money? I'm working on it. It's a large sum to move. A lie. We have nothing. Work faster. He pauses, and I hear Clara's voice in the background, faint but clear. She isn't crying. She is talking. You sound tired, she is saying. Have you eaten? You've been in this van for almost 2 days. My blood runs cold. What is she doing? The kidnapper grunts, distracted. Shut up. My husband, he's a good man, Clara continues, her voice trembling but deliberate. But he's not a banker. He's a cop, a psychologist. He helps people like you. A long silence follows. I hold my breath, my entire career flashing before my eyes. Has she just signed her own death warrant? Then the kidnapper speaks, his voice raw, the modulator seemingly forgotten. A psychologist? Yes, Clara whispers. He told me once that no one is born a monster. They're made by their pain. The line goes silent for a full minute. When he comes back, his voice is a broken whisper. My son, he's sick. The hospital bills. I lost my job. He is confessing to his victim. My wife, with her profound, terrifying bravery, is turning a hostage situation into a therapy session. Let me talk to him, I say, my own voice soft. I'm not a killer, he sobs. I just didn't know what else to do. I know, I say, my eyes meeting those of my team lead, who gives me a sharp nod. They have a location. It's not too late to choose a different path. Let me help you end this the right way. I can hear him breathing heavily, a man standing on a precipice. 40 hours had evaporated since the call, and the digital clock on my desk glowed 4 a.m. A mocking reminder that the final 8 hours were bleeding away. My team had hit a wall. I isolated the line, ensuring only I would hear the next conversation. My team lead, Captain Evans, put a hand on my shoulder. James, you sure about this? We stick to the script. The script is failing, I said, my voice low. He's not a career criminal. He's desperate. I'm going to change the commodity. We're not just negotiating for money anymore. Evans's eyes narrowed, a silent demand for an explanation I didn't have time to give. But as his skepticism washed over me, the sterile, fluorescent-lit room seemed to dissolve. The scent of stale coffee and anxiety replaced by the old book smell and quiet hum of a university lecture hall. 2 years ago, Professor Aldridge's Advanced Crisis Negotiations seminar. He was a man built of tweed and quiet intensity, who spoke of human desperation like a cartographer reading a map. The script Professor Aldridge had begun, his voice a calm, precise instrument, is a safety net. It is for you, not for them. It keeps you from falling into the abyss. But remember this, your subject, the person holding the gun, the bomb, or the life in their hands, they have thrown the script away. To reach them, you must be willing to step off the page. He'd paced before the whiteboard, on which he'd written a single word, tactical empathy. This is not sympathy. It is not agreeing with them. It is the strategic process of demonstrating you understand their world, their situation, and their feelings. It is making them feel heard. A person who feels heard is a person who can begin to listen. Today, we discuss the tools. He stopped and pointed at a student in the front row. Mr. Thorne. A man has barricaded himself in his home after a failed business venture. He's shouting that the world is against him, that the system is rigged. Your scripted response is, "Sir, Please put down the weapon and come out. What do you say instead? Younger, greener, I'd fumbled. I tell him I understand he's upset. Vague and condescending, Aldrich stated, not unkindly. It invites a no, you don't understand. Be specific. Use his words. Use mirroring. Repeat the last 1 to 3 critical words of his sentence back to him as a question. It triggers a deep-seated human response to explain and elaborate. He gestured as if the man were there. He says, "The system is rigged." You, with a calm, curious tone, say, "The system is rigged?" That's all. Not a statement. A question. You'll find he will then elaborate. "Yeah, the bank, they pulled my loan after 10 years. And just like that, you have data. You have his pain point. You mirror again. Pulled your loan? You are building a bridge, word by word, back to rationality." He let that sink in before moving to the next tool. Now you have data. You know he feels betrayed by the bank. He's lost his business. This is where you label the emotion. You give his fear a name and present it back to him. It has a powerful neutralizing effect. He wrote on the board, "It seems like, it sounds like, it looks like." "These are your primers," he continued. You say, "It sounds like you feel betrayed by the people you trusted." Or, "It seems like you're worried this is the end of the road." The key is to end the label and be silent. Let it hang there. You are holding up a mirror to their emotional state. They will either correct you or, more often, confirm it with a "damn right I am." And then, crucially, feel a fraction of the emotional pressure release because you have articulated their burden. I remembered shifting in my seat, captivated. "But Professor, what if he just says screw you and stops talking? Then you've mislabeled. You try again. Or, you move to the accusation audit," Aldrich said, a faint smile on his lips. "This is a preemptive strike. You list all the terrible things they are likely thinking about you. You get there first. It robs the accusation of its power and, paradoxically, makes you seem more credible." He adopted the persona of the negotiator. You say, "You're probably thinking I'm just another suit reading a script. You're thinking I don't care about you or your business, that I'm just here to get you to surrender. You're thinking that once you put the gun down, this whole understanding act goes away and I'll just slap cuffs on you." By voicing their suspicions, you accomplish 2 things. First, you show a startling level of honesty. Second, they are almost compelled to reassure you. "No, man, I know you're just doing your job." Suddenly, they are building your bridge for you. And finally, Aldrich had said, his voice dropping to a near whisper, forcing us to lean in, the most powerful tool in the arsenal, calibrated questions. These are how and what questions designed to make your subject feel in control while secretly putting the burden of solving the problem back on them. He wrote on the board, "What and how." He circled them. Never why. Why is accusatory. "Why did you do that?" puts people on the defensive. What and how trigger a problem-solving instinct. When he says he has no way out, you don't say, "Here's the way out." You ask, "What needs to happen for this to end with everyone safe?" Or, "How can we fix this together?" Or, "What are we trying to accomplish here?" A student had raised a hand. "But won't they just say, 'I want a helicopter,' or something impossible?" "Perhaps," Aldrich nodded. "But then you ask another calibrated question. How am I supposed to do that?" You are not saying no. You are making them a partner in the logistics of their own surrender. You are making them confront the reality of their demands. A person who is solving a problem with you is not a person who is escalating a crisis. The memory faded as abruptly as it had arrived. The command post snapped back into sharp focus. The glowing screens, the tense postures, the low murmur of tactical updates. Captain Evans was still staring at me, waiting. Professor Aldrich's voice was now my own internal monologue. He's not a career criminal. He's desperate. Change the commodity. The commodity wasn't money. It was hope. It was a path. It was a way for David to be a father to his son again. I looked at Evans, the ghost of my professor's lesson, giving me a certainty I didn't fully feel. "I'm not going to negotiate for Clara's life," I said, my voice now firm, the low tremor gone. "I'm going to negotiate for his. I'm going to make him an offer to save his own soul." Evans's eyes widened slightly, but he gave a slow, grim nod. The script was gone. It was time to step off the page. I initiated the call. He answered on the first ring, his voice tight with the same strain I felt. "The money. Is it ready?" I took a breath and began. "Transferring that amount triggers federal flags," I said, my tone conversational, almost weary. It was my first calibrated question in disguise, posing a problem. "It takes time to structure it. My bank is asking questions I can't answer without drawing suspicion. How do I do that? I was no longer James the husband pleading. I was James the psychologist, building a bridge, one tactical brick of empathy at a time, across the void. A sharp intake of breath. I don't care about your problems. Do you want your wife back or not? Of course I do, I said, letting a sliver of genuine emotion through, the worried husband. But if I get arrested for money laundering, she gets nothing either way. We both lose. Let's be practical. I was reframing the problem, making us collaborators in a logistical nightmare. I have $5,000 in cash. It's untraceable. I can get it to you in an hour. 5. That's nothing, he snarled, but the fury was undercut by a note of desperation. I'd planted the seed of a compromise. It's more than nothing, I countered calmly. It's proof I'm acting in good faith. It's food, it's a motel room, it's a tank of gas. It's immediate. The rest, we can work on another way. There is no other way, he shouted. And then I heard her. Clara's voice, steady and clear in the background. He's telling the truth. James doesn't lie. Her faith was a lance through my heart. I pushed on, using her presence as a pivot. Let me speak to her. I need to know she's okay. If I hear her voice, know that she's unharmed, it makes it easier for me to focus. The fear, it's paralyzing. I was validating his power while subtly asking for a personal connection, a psychological reward for my cooperation. There was a long, rustling silence. I could picture the internal war in that cramped space. Then her voice closer now. James? I'm okay. I'm really okay. Clara, sweetheart. Just hang on. We're working this out. I poured every ounce of love I had into those words for her and for him to hear. I wanted him to see us as people, a newly married couple, not just pay checks and obstacles. The phone was wrestled away. Enough. That's my wife, I said, my voice dropping, becoming more intense, more personal. You hear her? You see she's a person. I know you're a person too. This isn't you. This is an act of desperation. Let's find a better solution. Take the 5,000. Let her go. I can get you resources. There are charities for hospital bills, state aid. My word, I will help you navigate it. My name is James. What's your name? The silence on the other end was profound. I could hear his ragged breathing. When he finally spoke, the digital distortion couldn't hide the crack in his voice. The money, the 5. How? How do I get it? The line was still open. The only sound was his ragged breathing. The $5,000 offer was on the table, a tangible, immediate temptation compared to the distant, problematic $50,000. The 5,000, he repeated, his voice a low murmur, more to himself than to me. It's not enough. This wasn't a flat rejection. It was an invitation to haggle. I was actively bargaining for my wife's life, using every principle of crisis negotiation I'd ever studied. My man, I said, saying this deliberately to reinforce his masculinity, a technique to build rapport and obligation. Think about it. The 50,000 was a number for a problem that felt impossible. This is a number for a solution you can hold in your hand today. Right now. No banks, no trace, no waiting. I let that sink in. I could hear the faint rustle of clothing, the creak of a van seat. He was thinking. He was weighing it. My son, he began, his voice thick with emotion. The treatment's 50,000 was just for the next phase. Bingo. He'd given me the key. He wasn't greedy, he was targeted. His demand was specific. This wasn't about wealth, it was about a medical bill. I understand, I said, my tone softening into one of shared problem solving. But if this goes wrong, if you're caught, what happens to your son then? He loses his father. Permanently. The 5,000 can buy you time. It can get you a good lawyer to help you navigate this. It can show the court you were under duress, that you took a lesser amount when offered. It changes the narrative from a ruthless kidnapping to a desperate man making a bad choice who then showed mercy. I can't just let her go for 5, he argued, but the conviction was gone. It was a token resistance, a man trying to save face with himself. Then let's structure this, I said, shifting into a collaborative proposal. You give me a proof of life that isn't just her voice. A video. You show me she's unharmed, and I will move the 5,000 to a location of your choosing within the hour. You get that security. Then, we talk about the next step. What next step? He asked, suspicion creeping back in. The step where you become a person who made a mistake, but did the right thing in the end, I said, my voice intense. The step where I, as a psychologist with the police, can testify to your state of mind, to your cooperation. You release Clara, unharmed, at a safe, public location. When you do that, I will personally guarantee that my wife will not press charges. That is within my power, and I will connect you with the resources I mentioned. We can start a fund for your son. My word, on my life. The silence on the other end was absolute. I had just fundamentally altered the deal. I wasn't just offering a reduced ransom. I was offering him redemption, a path back to being a father, not a felon. You do that, he whispered, the disbelief palpable. After this? This isn't about what you've done, I said, the words feeling like the most profound truth I'd ever spoken. It's about what you do next. The $5,000 is for your son's immediate needs. My help and Clara's forgiveness, that's for his father's soul. Take the deal. Let this end with hope, not with more tragedy. I held my breath. I could hear the soft sound of Clara whispering, "Please." She was my unwitting partner, reinforcing the humanity I was trying to sell. The silence on the line stretched into a vast, empty plain where my hope began to wither. Finally, his voice emerged, thin and frayed. "Okay." Captain Evans, watching me from across the command post, straightened up, his eyes wide with urgent question. I gave him a sharp single nod. "Okay," I repeated, keeping my voice calm and steady. "The 5,000, he said, his words coming faster now, as if saying them aloud made the decision real. "I'll take it. And your word. About the help. About not pressing charges." "You have it," I said, the promise ironclad in my soul. "Now let's arrange the drop. A public place. You can watch from a distance. Once you have the money, you call me and tell me where Clara is." "No." The refusal was sharp, immediate. My heart stuttered. "Not like that. But we have a deal," I said, a thread of steel entering my voice. "We do. But I'm not letting her go until I have the cash in my hand. And I'm not sending you to some crowded mall where your cop friends are waiting in every shop." He was smarter than I'd given him credit for, his paranoia a survival instinct. "What's your condition, then?" I asked, letting him frame it. "A trade," he said, the idea seeming to form even as he spoke it. You bring the money." The command post went dead silent. Evans shook his head violently, mouthing no. But my mind was already racing, analyzing his logic. "Me?" I asked, feigning more hesitation than I felt. This was dangerous, insane, but it was also a profound show of trust on his part. He was willing to expose himself to me. "Yes. You come alone. No wires, no tracking. You bring the cash in a bag. You come to the old industrial park off Route 9, the abandoned textile mills. You know it." "I know it," I said, my voice flat. It was a perfect location for an ambush or a double cross. Decayed, isolated, a labyrinth of crumbling concrete. "I'll be watching. If I see one other car, one flicker of a police radio, it's over. You come inside. You give me the money. I check it. Then I let her go. You both leave." It was a monumental risk. He was asking me to walk into the lion's den, to make myself a hostage alongside my wife. "James, no." Clara's voice cried out in the background, faint but frantic. "It's a trap. Quiet." He snapped, but there was no real menace left, only a weary tension. I closed my eyes, picturing her face. This was no longer a negotiation between a cop and a kidnapper. It was a fragile pact between two broken men, both trying to save their families. "All right," I said, my decision made. I'll come alone. You have my word, but you give me yours. The moment I hand you that bag, Clara walks out of that building unharmed. You look me in the eye and you give me your word as a father." There was a long pause. "You have my word," he whispered, the phrase sounding foreign and sacred on his lips. "As a father." The line went dead. The derelict textile mill loomed against the bruised twilight sky, a skeleton of rusted steel and shattered windows. I stood beside my car, the weight of the duffel bag containing $5,000 feeling insignificant compared to the weight of the promise I was about to walk into. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Main assembly floor. West entrance. Come alone. Remember, I'm watching. My footsteps echoed unnaturally loud in the vast, open space. And then I saw them. Clara was tied to a metal support column, her face pale, but her eyes blazing with a mixture of terror and relief when she saw me. A few feet away, partially shrouded in shadow, stood a gaunt man in his 40s. He looked nothing like the monster I had imagined. "James," Clara breathed. "Stop there," he commanded, his voice tight. He gestured with the gun. "The bag. Toss it over." I didn't move. Our deal was I hand it to you, and you release her. Let her start walking towards the door, and I'll walk towards you. His eyes darted around nervously. Just toss the bag. This was the first complication. His paranoia was spiking. The controlled negotiator on the phone was gone, replaced by a man on the verge of panic. "Hey man," I said, keeping my voice low and even, the way you'd speak to a spooked animal. "I kept my word. I'm here alone. No police. Now you keep yours. Let her go." I took a slow, deliberate step forward. He flinched, raising the gun so it was now pointed in my general direction. Clara let out a stifled cry. Suddenly, a new sound cut through the tense silence. Distant but unmistakable. The Doppler whine of a police siren. It was miles away, likely unrelated, but in the echo chamber of the mill, it was a thunderclap. His face contorted in betrayed fury. "You lied," he screamed, the gun now shaking violently in his grasp, swinging between Clara and me. "You brought them." "No, I didn't," I said, my hands coming up, the bag dropping to the floor with a dull thud. "It's a coincidence. It's not for us. Listen to me." But he was beyond listening. The fragile trust we had built over the phone shattered in an instant. It's always a lie. The hospitals lie, the banks lie, the cops lie. He was backing away, pulling a knife from his pocket and moving towards Clara's bonds. "The deal's off. We're leaving. You're not getting her back." My mind raced. The psychology was useless now. This was pure, raw survival instinct. He was going to take her as a human shield, and in his current state, anything could happen. He started sawing at the plastic zip tie around her wrists, his movements frantic. "Think of your son," I pleaded, taking another step closer. "If you do this, if you take her from here, you're not a desperate father anymore. You're a kidnapper. There's no coming back from that. The help I promised, it vanishes. Your son loses you forever." He hesitated, the knife pausing. The siren faded into the distance, leaving a ringing silence in its wake. He looked from me to Clara, to the money on the floor, his face a mask of utter torment. The zip tie on Clara's right wrist snapped. "Please," Clara whispered, her voice remarkably calm. "Don't. It's not too late." He stared at her, his chest heaving. The gun, which had been wavering, slowly lowered again.